Hey you guys, and welcome to my channel, Simply Sarah Miller. Sarah Miller. Hey, yo, what up? That was weird. Anyway, let's go. Okay, welcome. YouTube is finally here for me, a long-awaited event that so many people have asked for, so here you go on a silver platter for 2019. Okay, so first thing I'm doing today is showing you my makeup tutorial. This is a little bit more of a, I would say for me, glam look. I did this on New Year's Eve. Today I'm wearing just jeans and a sweater, but it can still work. And then the exact same thing that I did on my face today, I could also do just a little bit lighter for the daytime, you know? Anyway, there's my dog, if you can see her. If you can't, you need to be able to see her because she's freaking cute. Wow, 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 wow. Let's go. Alright, so I am starting with a fresh face, absolutely nothing on my skin right now except for moisturizer. And then I'm going to take this Reduce Redness Smashbox primer, and I'm going to put this all over my face. I'm going to rub really gently. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tried and true foundation. I have literally used this since I was in 8th grade, and I have sensitive skin, so I have always used it, and I feel like I always will use it. So it's the MAC Studio Fix Foundation. I do change depending on what color I am, but right now I'm in the shade NC16. So I use my fingers to apply this just because it gives me a very even application and it does not turn on you colors. So I will just quickly apply this to my entire face. Just like I would apply my moisturizer, and I need a little bit more for my forehead. And just rub it in. I like to use my fingers. I've tried brushes. I definitely always wash my hands before I put on foundation, but I just think it gives me the best even application. The next thing that I'm going to be doing is my concealer, and I use Tarte Shape Tape, and I am in the shade Light Sand. So I will take this guy right here and I will make 2 triangles under my eyes, and then whatever's left on my applicator I will pop on my eyelids just to brighten them up. And then hormonally, women typically get a little bit red around their nose, so I always put some concealer around my nose. I know I look crazy. So I'm going to just take my beauty blender and pat that in. Easy as pie. I always like to take my beauty blender too and just cover up lighten any blemishes that I have. Perfect. Okay, so just to kind of set all that in, because I do kind of have an oily, I'm not oily, but I'm not dry really either. I always like to finish it off with a powder. This is the MAC Studio Fix Powder Plus in NC25. This is significantly darker than my foundation, but this is my summer color and it's powder, so I just lightly dust it all over my face. This is actually from summer. You can see I still have a ton in there, so I just like to lightly use it. You can definitely use a translucent powder as well, which I'll use later in my tutorial. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to contour my face, but I'm going to contour with the Hoola bronzer. Okay, I like to use bronzer because actual contour is a little bit too ashy for my skin. So I always like to tell people I actually do a lot of people's makeup. Fun fact about me, when I was in student teaching, I actually worked at a makeup counter, so that was really fun. But I always tell people when you're doing your contour, you want to make a little fish face. And you're going to go right under that cheekbone, okay? You're going to chisel out your cheek. Don't worry if it gets too dark, you'll always be able to blend it out later. I also always darken the under part of my chin because I inherently just have a double chin no matter how skinny I am. I always have a little baby double chin, so I always darken my under my chin. Okay, I'm gonna go back in, darken this some more. Okay, and then I'm gonna always toss my hair back and darken my hairline. Okay, this just gives you a nice shape. Kind of makes everything look very cohesive. Okay. She has literally been asleep all day, and now she's gonna act like this so that I'm recording. It's fine. She's being sweet. Okay, so already I kind of, if you can see, I already kind of have a chiseled face look. I already look like I am ready to own the day. I like to usually stop here, pop some blush and a little mascara on, and this would be like my just no makeup look. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my damp beauty blender, and I'm going to take the Laura Mercier, I think I'm saying that right. It's the translucent powder. So I like to just turn it over, pop it in the lid, and I always, 100% of the time, bake my under eye. So I'm gonna look crazy. That's okay. It'll all come off later. I have tried a couple of different translucent powders. Nothing beats this one. Literally not one thing. I cannot find anything that doesn't crease or even leave like a flashback from pictures. That one doesn't do either. It doesn't crease, no flashback. So that's pretty bomb. Okay, so after I bake my under eye, I'm going to start in on my eyes because I always like to bake my under eye while I do my eyeshadow, because if I have any fallout, it falls out onto the translucent powder, which I'm going to brush away in just a little bit. So I guess I'll tell you what this is. This is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer. I always just toss it on my lids before. Gives you the best outcome. Okay, while I'm kind of letting that set in, I'm going to brush out my eyebrows, and then I'm going to go ahead and darken them. I got to get a little bit closer here. Once I color in these eyebrows, I am going to go ahead with my eyeshadow. Okay, and today I'm going to be using the Sultry palette by Anastasia. So this palette is legitimately beautiful and well loved. Okay, so I'm going to start out with the shade Fresh, which is the lightest shade in the palette. Okay, so I'm going to start out with Fresh, and I'm going to cover my entire eye. I always like to start out with a light base, just to lighten up my entire face. That's the other thing, is you can't be afraid to make anything too dark. Everything can be blended, everything can be fixed, so you just don't want to worry about getting it too dark. Millie, go away. You guys, she's actually seriously been asleep this whole time of me prepping to do this video. Crazy dog. Okay. So, after I start off with Fresh, I get it all over both of my eyes. I'm going to start in with Rose Quartz. Okay, Rose Quartz is a beautiful rose sparkly shade. Right here, Rose Quartz. I'm going to go in with my blending brush, and I'm just going to get it on there, knock off any excess, and I'm going to go in immediately to my crease. Okay, I have a high brow, but you can always feel your brow or your crease, your eyelid bone, if you just touch your eyeball. That's where you want to shoot for. So you're going to go in for your crease. I take it all the way into the center of my eye, then wave it out. Okay, so So still going in with rose quartz, you can already see I'm starting to get a really nice like shadow in there. I'm gonna just keep working it in. Again, don't be too scared of getting things too dark. You can always lighten it up, blend it out. Okay, so I'm gonna go on with my other eye. And then once you've gotten a good just shade in your crease, then you're gonna start working it into the lid, the outside of your lid. Okay, so here's the fun part. I am going to take my finishing spray. This is the Urban Decay All-Nighter Spray. Shake it up. I'm going to get the next color, which is going to be Cinder. I'm going to take Cinder and I'm going to get that on my brush, nice and pigmented, and then I'm going to knock off any excess craziness. I knocked off too much. And then I'm going to take my all-nighter spray and I'm going to spray my brush. Kind of give it a second, let it cool down, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to pat this right into my crease. People usually start to get really pretty scared whenever you wet the brush with the shadow on it because it becomes very pigmented. Don't be scared of that. Again, you can still always lighten it up. I'm actually going to go in and make my rose quartz a little bit more pigmented as well with the spray. So we're getting there. We're almost done. Okay, so right now you're probably looking at me and you're like, whoa, that's like really dark. Have no fear. I'm going to make it a little bit darker before I lighten it up. Okay, rose quartz. Again, I'm going to just pat that into my crease. This is the most beautiful color, especially if you have any kind of rosiness in your skin tone. I look legitimately insane. Pat that into my crease. So the reason I also like to bake while I'm doing my eyeshadow, a lot of people do their eyes and then their face. I like to start with my face and then do my eyes. Most people do it in that order though because of how much fallout they'll get with palettes, eyeshadow palettes. I bake under my eye so that my concealer lasts all night and my mascara doesn't get on my face, like on underneath as the day goes on. So I like to do my eyeshadow second because I don't have to worry about fallout. Okay, so now I've got the perfect color that I really want for my crease. So I'm going to go back in now and kind of start to lighten it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Fresh and I'm going to mix Pearl with Fresh. Pearl is just a really pretty, like a shimmery color. And I'm going to wet my brush. If you can see my pitiful little brush, this was a MAC brush that broke, but tried and true and I really like it, so I continue to use it. I'm going to pat that into the corner of my lid, and you can already see how pigmented that white color is. So don't be afraid to get it into your crease to where you don't really like it, because it can always be fixed. I think that would be my biggest advice, is that it can always be fixed, so don't stress. Oh, I love these two together. It literally creates like a pearl effect on your eye. And then I'm going to go in, I'm going to take it up to my brow. And the same thing for the other eye. And pat that right in. I'm definitely not a makeup artist, but I know a few things from when I worked in makeup, and just from practicing, just trial and error, you guys. I think that's the biggest thing. I'm good for now. I'm going to go back in and touch this up in just a second. I really love the pearl effect on the inside of my eye. It really helps pop out the color of your eye once you get your mascara and your eyeliner on. So I'm going to take my brush that I used to put on my powder, and I'm just going to start dusting off the translucent powder. And yay, go me, because now all of that fallout just left with it. So I'm going to go back in with a really fluffy blending brush. This one actually came with the Anastasia palette, so totally worth the money of the palette. And I'm going to get real close to the mirror, like awkwardly close, and I'm mixing Steampunk and Rose Quartz. Steampunk is like a pretty gold color, and Rose Quartz, and I'm going to just dust it off and just work it back into my crease. Or work some of that into my crease, that darker color. I will link in the description box below all the colors that I used, just so you guys will know. And then I'm going to take my brush and just wipe out that fallout again. Okay, and then that is my eyes. So you can kind of see. Mascara and eyeliner are going to do wonders to change the look. I also am a huge blush girl. I can't live without my blush, so I am using MAC in the color Flower Power. Flower Power is what it's supposed to sound like, but it's Flower Power. Really pretty though. It's a real bright pink. Blush just makes your face pop, you guys. Like, this is a step that, like, I don't leave the house without a little bit of blush on my cheeks. It just gives your face some dimension. Okay, so now I'm going to take my eyeliner. This is the Stila dark brown felt tip pen. I love this thing. So, excuse me. I'm going to get really close to the mirror, and I really don't do this like you're probably supposed to, but sue me. It's fine. Okay, I pull my eye really straight. This is like felt tip pen eyeliner for dummies. Here we go. I take my eyelid and I pull it straight, and then I draw a line. I have a really shaky hand, so this is the only way that I can get somewhat of a straight line. And then the other eye. Again, don't be super stressed to like mess up like I just did and get it down here, because we have Q-tips, we can fix that problem. Okay, the next pro tip I would say for my face specifically, if you have small, like I have small, pretty small almond eyes, so I don't line my waterline at all. Sometimes if I'm feeling super fancy, I'll line like the inside white, but today I'm not going to do that, and I always line the outside, like my lash line. So I'll get real close. This just opens up your eyes a little bit more. I love this trick. I'm almost done. I just am going to take, here it is. This highlighter is the Becca Gold Lava. Really pretty. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take this wide brush, and I'm just going to dust it on the apples of my cheek. I also always like to just toss a little bit on my nose. And really, another trick I like to put it in the dip of my top lip right there. I'm sure that has a name, but I don't know, so whatever. Okay, so I'm going to take my mascara. I'm going to start out with the Bad Girl Bang by Benefit, and I'm just going to start coating underneath. Here's the deal, you guys, too. If you get mascara on your lid that you just spent all that time doing eyeshadow for, don't mess with it. Let it dry. Grab a Q-tip. You'll be good to go. Just with a dry Q-tip, you just run it over the dry mascara and it comes right off. Monster Big. This is by Lancome. And I'm going to just go in and reinforce what I've already got going. Okay, so there's my mascara. for one eye. If you are going out on the town for the night, like I did the other night, sometimes I'll just let all of my mascara dry and then go in with a few more coats, and it just kind of gives you just like that big, like, wow factor. But that's really all my face. I'm extra with blush, so you know me, I'm just gonna add a little bit more. I love pink cheeks. Again, if you get mascara on you like I do constantly, that's the thing, guys, too, is like, you can see me right now, I'm actually going in and adding just a little bit more shadow just to darken it up a little bit more. The color that I'm going in and darkening it with is Twig. And that just adds a little bit more dimension to my eyes. That's the other thing too, is like, after I get my mascara on, you can really tell like if you're going out for the night or if you're just got like a new day look on, because your mascara is a game changer. Like, it changes your look, so that's why I went in and just added more shadow. I looked like it was just like a day look. Okay, so last thing I'm gonna do, lipstick. So my favorite lipstick combo right now is a combination of several things. Okay, this is the NYX or NYX, I don't know how you say it, like brown, it's called Nude Truffle lip liner. So I'm going to take my lip liner and line my lips. What a colossal idea, right? Okay, look crazy. I also always like to, especially when my lips are kind of dry, take a little chapstick after I line my lips though, because if you do chapstick before you line your lips, you're not going to get the liner color that you were hoping for. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this is Maybelline in the shade Poet, toss that on over this liner. And then lastly, I'm going to take the Shiny Sheer Ulta brand lip gloss in the shade Ballerina. I've never been a gloss person until recently. This one's not sticky. So I have purchased a few shades in this Ulta brand. And that is it, you guys. That's my face. I'm ready to go for the day. Crazy. It kind of took a long time, I'm sorry. It was because I was talking. It doesn't usually take me near that long. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my makeup tutorial and my YouTube video. I plan to do a lot more YouTube videos, so let me know what you want to see. This YouTube channel, I guess, is going to stay. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment below and, you know, subscribe.